Welcome to the podcast. My name is Michelle Sinclair, divine healer and spiritual teacher, and I got another sweet one for you. These is more Bible verses that have to do with reaping and sowing, because Jesus was trying to get the message across. And so I'm trying to get the message across that that's really the be-all and end all, that your consciousness, where you live in your head right now, that's your home. And you reap as you sow. What you put out, what thoughts come out from you, what actions come out from you, what words come out from you, the things that you fear, the things that you long for, the things that you want, the things that you don't want, everything that you allow your mind to indulge in is like you're sowing those seeds, and you will reap of them. So I'm going to tell you guys a whole bunch more here, Bible verses that are super sweet, because they're talking about what Jesus was talking about in the Christ letters, his true message. Because what came out of the Bible, I don't know. Anyways, the church that I grew up in, I'm like, dude, that ain't the thing. That's not the thing. That's not even what he was saying. What are we doing here? And, Jesus said, greater things than I have done will you do. Well, how come nobody in the church can claim that? Well, because they're not doing the thing. They're not doing it intentionally. They just weren't taught the right, true message because it wasn't taught to them. That's how this stuff goes. So I'm just going to point it out to you guys here, how you guys know electromagnetism is real, right? That thoughts are electric, and through magnetism they are returned back to us. This is what Jesus referred to as reaping and sowing. Science calls it cause and effect, or it's basically just the laws of electromagnetism. So Galatians 6:7-9. Do not be deceived. God cannot be mocked. A man reaps what he sows. Whoever sows to please their flesh, from the flesh will reap destruction. Whoever sows to please the Spirit, from the Spirit will reap eternal life. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. 2 Corinthians 9:6. Remember this: whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will also reap generously. So this is telling you, do so much good and you will get so much good back. But if you do so much bad, you will get so much bad back. Okay, Proverbs 22:8. Whoever sows injustice reaps calamity, and the rod they wield in fury will be broken. So if ever anything has happened to you and you just think, I need to get revenge on this person or that person, you do not need to do anything. It is the universal law that whoever sows injustice will reap calamity. And whatever they are trying to use against you, it'll be broken. You don't need to seek revenge. And it tells us this. And it tells us this because if we get revenge on somebody, well, now we've put something out and now we're going to have to pay for that thing. And we really haven't got revenge. We've just hurt ourselves even more. So Job 4:8. As I have observed, those who plow evil and those who sow trouble reap it. Hosea 10:12. Sow righteousness for yourselves. Reap the fruit of unfailing love and break up your unplowed ground. For it is time to seek the Lord until he comes and showers his righteousness on you. So often when people discover this, when they really realize, because they see through little inklings, like, oh, that is true. I just put that out there and I just got this thing back, or I really believe this thing and then it happened. And you start to see these laws and these principles about reaping and sowing and just how explicitly true that they are. Sometimes you could be putting out so much goodness and you're like, why isn't it coming back? But once you get to that point that you're sending out so much goodness, at some point it's going to come back. But if ever you doubted, just know it will come to you. And in this verse it says, until he comes and showers his righteousness on you. So seek the Lord until he comes and showers his righteousness on you. That's how long you need to do it. And then once it happens, you're just going to want to keep doing it. Okay, Psalm 126:5-6. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Those who go out weeping, carrying seeds to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with them. Luke 6:38. Give, and it will be given unto you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and runneth over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. I like that one. Now Genesis 8:22. As long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night will never cease. So this is talking about the earth enduring, but it is talking about seed time and harvest. It is inescapable. And it is not talking about the seeds that we plant in the earth and that we harvest, although, it's maybe also talking about that, but it is talking about what we sow through our consciousness, through your home, that place you live there, in your head, in your mind. Hopefully it's a nice place to be. Whatever you are sowing, there will come a time of harvest. Proverbs 11:18. A wicked person earns deceptive wages, but the one who sows righteousness reaps a sure reward. James 3:18. Peacemakers who sow in peace reap a harvest of righteousness. This also brings comfort when you maybe have had to deal with people in your life who have not treated you how they should have. Or who knows, maybe they did. But when you have dealt with people who were maybe unreasonable or unfair, or they got some things that they really got to work on, all these verses can bring you a lot of comfort knowing that they will reap as they have sown. So if they are spreading slanderous gossip or judgmentalism around about you and it's absolutely not true, you don't even actually need to defend yourself. It will be done publicly to that person. What they have done to you, it will come back on them, and not just to the extent that they have done it to you, but it will come back with interest. So take heart and know that you do not, I know I already said this once, but you do not need to get revenge on anybody. You can be just thankful for it, because you will be growing and you will be learning, and that person at some point will have to go through what you went through, and because you had to heal from it, well, that person, they're going to have to heal from it too, and they're going to grow from it too. There's only goodness that comes for us. Ecclesiastes 11:6. Sow your seeds in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. So that is really talking about, you want to be doing something and you're like, all right, I'm going to sow these seeds of this business plan or that business plan, and you're not really sure. It's just saying whatever seeds you're sowing, just keep tending to them. You can't just put a seed in the ground and walk away and it's a really hot sweltering day out and you didn't bring any water to it and that seed's just going to die. It's saying whatever seeds you plant, you need to tend to them or they will just die away. Matthew 13:23. But the seeds falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop yielding 160 or 30 times what he has sown. So this is telling you, for all the good that you put out, you know that it does not just end there. It comes back with interest. Just like if some evil deed is done to you, it will come back to them with interest. Just like all the good that you have done, it will come back to you with interest. And by believing this and by knowing this, you are planting even more seeds that are going to ensure that harvest is going to come to you. You get back what you put out. Matthew 7:2. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure that you use, it will be measured to you. So how many times have you thought, you maybe judge somebody, oh, this person's an idiot, oh, this or whatever, and you carelessly let this trash leave your mouth? Know that it is careless, because those things will come back to you, and somebody's going to be sitting in their house calling you an idiot or saying these things about you, and it will come back to you with interest. So mind your mouth and your thoughts and put out only good. And then somebody's going to be sitting in their house and they're going to be like, you know what, that person, they're just fabulous. And you're going to be getting all that good energy that you put out. You reap as you sow. Proverbs 26:27. Whoever digs a pit will fall into it. And when someone rolls a stone, it'll roll back onto them. So people might try to set you up. I know what that's like. Somebody just trying to set you up to, oh, I'm just going to get this person. I'm just going to try to do this. But what they're doing is they're digging a pit that they're going to fall into. And they're trying to roll a stone on you, but it's just going to roll back on them. You don't got to worry about anything. You just stay in the grace of God and you will be protected. Obadiah 1:15. The day of the Lord is near for all nations. As you have done, it will be done to you. Your deeds will return upon your own head. And how wonderful is that when all those good deeds just start rolling in on your head. This is like when I was in Sedona the other day and we were sitting on top of, I don't even know what you'd call it. It's called Airport Mesa, but it's just a vortex, just kind of a hill, a butte, if you haven't been there before. It's a beautiful, wonderful place. I'll be there soon enough. You guys can come and visit me. But we're sitting up there, and I'm with my friend Alora, who I work with, and I said, okay, should we go sit over here? And she was like, oh, no, wait, I'm hearing that we need to receive something here first. And I was like, sweet. Maybe I told you guys this. Anyway, so I put out my receiving hand, left hand, and I'm just sitting there, cross-legged, meditate state, and I put my hand out, and all of a sudden I looked down at my hand and I could see it filling up with gold. But it wasn't just normal gold, it was like these really old, ancient gold coins. I was like, oh, this is amazing. And I was told this is being returned to you now. This belongs to you. And then I got a deeper picture of it, and I saw myself, way, way, way back in the day with kind of a little bag, almost like a potato sacky type bag that was filled with all these gold coins, and I was pulling them out and giving them to these poor children that were living on the street. And I saw myself walking around in this town and handing them out. And so I knew that this is abundance being returned to me that I had given out in a previous lifetime. So even though, maybe nothing has presented itself to you now, and you feel like this is the be-all and end-all, right? You feel like this life that you're living right now is the be-all, but this is how it feels every time that we come here. This is how it feels. But it's not. This is not the end. It goes on for always, and what you don't learn this time, you've got to come back and you got to learn it next time. Ugh, I know it sucks, right? So this is why we have to forgive people, because do you want to come back and get hurt again so that you can forgive that person? I don't. So you might as well just get it over with and forgive people and get into the love and alignment while you can. Luke 12:48. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much more will be asked. Revelation 22:12. Look, I am coming soon. My reward is with me, and I will give to each person according to what they have done. What a wonderful thing. I want you to think about all the goodness, all the good things that you've done, even just through a loving thought. Let's say you're a waitress and you are bringing over the people's drinks, and all you're doing is you're putting loving intention and health. You're seeing what the people are sitting there, what do they need put into their water, because it's actually going to affect them. And if you just go over to their table and you put that love into their water, not only are they going to taste it, not only have you put out good that is going to be returned back to you, but you will be benefiting these people on a deep level that you can't even really truly comprehend. And that will be returned back to you, something as simple as a loving thought. And how many opportunities do you get for that? Do you get to have that in a normal given day? It depends on the day. Did you leave the house? Did you send out a loving thought? Did you send out a smile to somebody that you thought needed it? Did you see somebody who looked nice and go over and compliment them? What did you do? Did you go out of your way to put the goodness out in the world? Because it will be returned back to you, whatever you do. And don't do it with the intent of, well, I'm only doing this because I want it to be returned back to me. But even if you did, you're still going to be helping out the people. But do it because you have a good heart, and because you're caring, and because you're kind, and because you want to see more goodness in the world. Well, then you need to be the first person to put some goodness in the world, and others will follow suit. Romans 2:6. God will repay each person according to what they have done. Love it. Jeremiah 17:10. I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind, to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. This is basically talking about universal love and the laws of the universe, right, that bring order into chaos, that we reap as we sow, that what we put out we get back. And so, you know, the Lord is saying here, I'm going to search your heart and your mind. You know, are you just paying lip service and saying this, but in your head you're thinking all these horrible things? I know people that do that. They wouldn't speak up. They wouldn't stand up for themselves. They'd never say how they're actually feeling. And then their life, they're suffering. They are reaping as they are sowing. And they don't even realize it. They think, well, I'm not saying these things out loud to these people that I'm thinking. But you know what, honey? You don't have to. Because energy speaks. You know that. You walk into a room and you're like, oh, what's going on with the energy in this room? Or, oh, look at the energy in this room. You feel it. It's energy. And so if you're living with somebody and they're putting out a certain type of energy, you are 100% receiving that energy. So let's say that you're spiteful and resentful towards your husband or something, but you don't want to say it, and you've just been thinking it for the last 16, 15, 17 years. You think he's not picking up on that hidden resentment that you have, and that it's not being put back on you? And you're like, oh, well, this is uncalled for. I haven't done a thing. But you have done a thing. Because you've allowed your mind to think something contradictory to the love of the divine, and it has come back and it will harm you in multiple ways. So, Jeremiah 17:10, the Lord searches the heart and examines the mind to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve. So, having the most pure mind that you can possibly have and always shifting towards thankfulness and love is a surefire way to create genuine happiness and true rewards in your life. Colossians 3:25. Anyone who does wrong will be repaid for their wrongs, and there is no favoritism. This is why when Jesus came and he cursed the fig tree and he was like, may you never produce fruit again, or may nobody ever eat from your branches again, or whatever he said, because he was pissed, because he was hangry, because he showed up at the fig tree and there was no figs on it, even though he knew that there wouldn't be, and he cursed it, and it withered to its roots and it died. And he knew, because his words had never caused harm to anything before this, and because he saw what had happened, he knew that he too would be withered to his roots. And he's Jesus, man. There is no favoritism. You reap as you sow, and there's no way around it. So, what are you reaping today? Are you reaping goodness? Are you lifting people up? Are your words helping people or hurting them? I bet that they're helping people. That's why you listen to this. And as your words help other people, are they also helping yourself? Because that's the most important part. Because as soon as you start helping yourself and as soon as you start feeling really good, well, man, you just want everybody else to feel good too. So the most important thing is that you feel good, right? Because what happens when you don't feel good? Well, you get snappy and you get angry and you get irritated and you want to punch out the dude at the Social Security office. You know what I'm saying. But we don't want any of that. No. So when we put out the good, we're going to get the good back. So when we can control our mind, and we can know that everything is working out for us, for the best, always for us, then we can be grateful and we can be happy, and we don't have to suffer through those moments of hell that our thought loops will allow us to get ensnared in if we think negatively. Just like the other night when I was meditating and my music shut off and I'm like, I guess no music, right? And I had this bad attitude literally for a couple of seconds about it, and then was immediately shown what a bad attitude I had about it by just showing me the extremeness, by having my response come back to me about 100 times more powerfully, but within myself. And I'm like, what is this? Oh, it's me. Oh, it's showing me how extreme and ridiculous my reaction was when of course this is happening for me. My music shutting off in the middle of a meditation. Of course it's happening for me. Why would it not be happening for me? Everything's always happening for me. What did it allow me to do? So many good things. Now I could hear the wind outside, and the wind was speaking to me. Then I could hear the coyotes, and the coyotes were speaking to me. There were so many things that came through that had my music been there, covering all that natural music outside up, I wouldn't have heard it. But yet I decided to take my time and to think for a couple of seconds. I guess no music then today, I guess. And because of that, I was then corrected and shown the right way, because we need to become masters. But I'm not saying this needs to happen today. It's a little process that happens a little bit at a time. When I began doing work on myself, over 10 years ago, it was a little bit at a time. I would meet with a friend of mine at least once a month, if not every couple weeks, and we would do hypnosis sessions. We would do hypnotherapy. We were clearing out past trauma. We were doing all kinds of things. I would meet with another friend, and we were doing all this stuff. And so if you're just starting out on your journey and you're expecting yourself to be perfect, good luck, and you could be. But there needs to be a whole bunch of things that need to be cleared out, because we're so programmed from our past. And when we can understand that, when all it takes is realizing that, of, okay, how I'm feeling about this, or this trigger that I have right now, it's from something else. And we always think it's the present. No, it's what's happening right now. It's never what's happening right now. It's always something that's happened in the past that is triggering something that we haven't healed yet. And we're like, oh, this is what a trigger is. I get it, because there's something there that needs to be looked at. I'll work with clients, and I do almost all regression work. Meaning I take people back into the past, and we're following the physical sensations that they have in their body, and we're following it back, and we're seeing what comes up, and then we're going to heal it. And as we're doing this, there is so much stuff that will come up from being in school. These kids who you thought were your friends, maybe bullying you, or maybe you didn't think they were your friends, maybe they were just bullies, and it affects you to this day on a subconscious level, and you don't even know it. Or your parents not treating you properly, not being perfect, and because of that, it affects you to this day. Or all these little things that could have been said to you. Maybe something happened and somebody embarrassed you, made you feel a certain way, and it affects you for the whole freaking rest of your life, man, until you subconsciously heal it. You got to go back in the mind where it began and heal it there, and then it gets rid of it completely. So anyways, this is what I got for you guys here today. So this is about reaping and sowing, cause and effect, electromagnetism, Bible verses that support that, because this is what Jesus was talking about. What you do, you get back. So just do good and have faith in the good, and do not have faith in the evil, because as soon as you put your belief in the evil, that will be what you get. You are then putting your thoughts and your frequencies and your vibrations at that level, a fearful level, a hell-based level, and that will be what is returned to you. So when you put your energies towards things that are loving, that are divine, that are heavenly, that is what will come to you. This is the force of nature. This is the force of your thoughts. And it's very, very important work. I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you next time. Take care.